We are listening to the defendant's police interview.
That we would just kind of be, he said that he would tell us, to, cut contact with people, to not tell them.
And at this point, he's really not giving you anything.
Yes, at this point, yeah.
So no money at all?
Right.
Okay. And that's deal.
Yeah. Around Thanksgiving, the week of Thanksgiving, Mindi had been trying a couple of new blood pressure medicines, and they were not working. She would like try one for a week, and then see if there was change, and her doctor came. They talked for a while, and she said that she told me that she had explained our situation. I'm sorry, can I back up?
Yeah.
In October, I think it was September 30th. Wayne showed up at the house.
Okay.
That's your father?
Yeah.
Okay.
He showed up with his brother. I was shut. It was kind of first thing in the morning. I was.
What's his brother's name?
Chester. I think it was by Chet.
Chester. Chet. Okay. And what's his last name?
Kassotis, yeah. And
what were they driving?
They were driving a white SUV, a Sumer rental. It was the day that a hurricane was supposed to hit Savannah, but it ended up taking a bit north.
We like to hide from them?
What?
We like to hide from them?
Yeah. So I was kind of coming out of the bathroom. I had coffee, and I saw there were shades in the front of the house. And I saw somebody there, and I just assumed it was the house's owner coming to see if there had been storm damage.
So you saw him through the shades?
Yeah, I didn't realize who it was. Opened the door and was terrified. They asked to come in. I said absolutely not. I asked how they found me. Wayne had said that he had hired somebody, and it wasn't that hard. He said he wanted me to come with him somewhere to talk. There was the house next door was under construction, and there were workers there, and they started making a racket, and he and I, it distracted him, and I shut the door. I wanted to leave immediately.
And explain to me, why are you desperately afraid?
I thought the last time I'd seen him, he had taken a baseball bat.
Okay, from the baseball thing.
Yeah.
So that's why you still okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I'm just trying.
Yeah. No.
Had he ever hit you prior to that?
Yeah.
Okay. What was his reason then, you think, for hitting you or attacking you?
I don't know. Things had gotten very bad with the family, and I never quite understood it. It started with my brother Chris. Kind of this very antagonistic relationship. antagonistic attitude towards Mindi, and when I tried to like set some just very basic boundaries, like, hey, I'm not going to talk to Chris, and I want you to respect our relationship. That was when things kind of jumped off. I mean, even when we were living with Frank and Megan, I think everybody in that house got calls or texts or emails from him trying to figure out where I was.
Okay. So after that, did they leave or?
Yeah, so he left. I went out the back. As is kind of, I guess, something that happens in Savannah, you have these almost alleys behind each street. So I went out the back door. We locked the doors. Mindy had her phone. I went out the back door and walked around the corner to where there was 2 blocks up. There's a hospital where there was normally security sitting in the parking lot, and Jim picked me up from there. We got it. He said he didn't think we should be moving right away. Thought it was a bad time.
So Jim lives in Savannah?
I don't know where Jim was.
I mean, he just showed up right at the end.
Yeah. He appeared to be in the area. It was not a long time. He brought me to a Target so that I could buy like a little video camera, like one of those security cameras. He said, this will make you feel safer. Like they're going to be leaving the area, I think. Told me to contact the Savannah Police Department, file a report so that if he showed up at Mindy's mother's place of business, that she could both tell like the front desk, like, hey, this person shouldn't be allowed in, and like, please call the police, like you can reference this report.
Okay.
Which I did.
Okay.
So I made a report with the Savannah Police Department at that time. Thanksgiving week. I think it was the day after Thanksgiving. I believe it was that Friday. Her blood pressure had been really bad, and she said she'd had a long conversation with the doctor about the fact that, like, we felt like we'd been stalked for years. We were very worried. I wanted her to go to the emergency room. She had at this point, I think, 3 pretty bad emergency room visits in a row. She had one way back in early 2017. She had hurt her back, and we went to the ER at Fort Belvoir, and the doctor treated her like she was there, like a drug seeking, basically. And she was in horrible pain. So 4 bad ER visits, and that summer, July 2017, she had an abscess in her mouth that was in a lot of pain, and we went to an emergency room that was basically like go see a dentist. Like, she's like, I just want antibiotics until the dentist opens. I don't want pain medicine. Like, I just want antibiotics. I'm worried about this infection in my head. We had been to a hospital in Beaufort, the emergency room, when she had COVID in late 2020, and did not feel like the care was good. and then, you know, being, you know, going, thinking, you know, she was pregnant and being told that she'd actually lost a baby. You know.
All right, here's what I'd love to know. As you watch along with us, do you believe him? This is his police interview. He's telling all kinds of details. He's talking a lot. Do you believe what Kassotis is telling the police or not? Let us know. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to get back inside for more of that police interview. There he is, the defendant.
A woman's remains found scattered throughout a 3-mile area.
Now, a former naval officer stands trial accused of killing his wife.
The dismembered wife murder trial. Live coverage today on Court TV.
Tonight on Closing Arguments, Donna Adelson's final pretrial hearing in the murder of Dan Markell. We're unpacking everything you may have missed as she prepares to face a jury.
Closing Arguments tonight at 8/7 Central, only on Court TV.
We were told that he had had an accident, that he was in the hospital. We got another email a day or two later that said he had died.
We were talking about Mr. Kassotis, and I said, you probably don't know, but he died several months ago, and he just kind of gave me a sad look and said, no, he's not dead.
Those were the parents of victim Mindi Kassotis. They took the stand yesterday telling the jury that Mindi's husband, Nicholas Kassotis, the defendant, faked his own death just months after he told them that their daughter had died from a stroke. They would, of course, later find out that these were all lies and that their daughter had actually been murdered and dismembered. Prosecutors say that Kassotis killed his wife in order to start a new life with another woman, although the defense is pointing the finger at a mystery man as the real suspect. Right now, we are listening to the defendant's police interview. We hit pause. Let's go back in for more.
You know, she did not want to go to the emergency room. So she talked to this doctor. She said that he was aware of the situation, that he worked at like kind of like a birthing center, like he, you know, was affiliated, you know, like there were doctors there who had admitting privileges, but she thought she would be more comfortable there, and that, you know, we would, and she said that we would get her blood pressure under control, and then, you know, we would be ready to leave. I was in the process of looking at some apartments for her parents. So he said that he was going to pick her up at some point in the next few days, so that I wasn't driving my car there.
So you wouldn't, I didn't understand, why would you not drive your car there?
Because we were still very worried about being met by Wayne.
And that was the doctor saying he would come by?
Yes, okay. Yeah. So I went to look at an apartment. We knew that Mindi's dad had hip replacement surgery coming up, so we were trying to find a place with minimal stairs, or like at least some option to avoid the stairs. So I went out. I think this was now. This is either Friday or Saturday of that week.
Okay.
I went out and I met with one person in Savannah. It would not have worked. For him, I then drove out to Hilton Head, and she told me that she had fallen twice, and that she was having some bleeding, like she had kind of breakthrough bleeding at points. She said that the doctor told her this was completely normal, like 20% of women will have some level of bleeding throughout their pregnancy. Okay. So I was in Hilton Head. She said, I said I was worried and I was going to come right back. She said that the doctor was on the way, and would be back shortly. They should be there shortly. They should let me know. She sent me a message that she had been checked in, and like they were going to figure out over the next couple days how long she was going to be there. And
she said she had checked in.
Yeah.
And this was the week roughly of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, this was either Friday or Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
I went back to the house, and she wasn't there, and let Jim know that she was, going to this birthing center with this doctor that she had been working with. And he told me, so Frank and Betsy were not there. They had gone to Hilton Head for the holiday. Matthew works at a kind of Cajun restaurant down there called Kenny B's. They like fried turkeys or something. So he can make extra money if he's there for that. So they were down there together. Jim told me when they came back that he would prefer, while we were figuring out what was going on, not to tell them that she wasn't in the house. That he didn't want them saying something. He was uncomfortable with the setup of her being elsewhere when we had issues just shortly before. I talked to her. We were texting. We texted on and off Sunday. She seemed.
Do you recall what her number was?
I don't recall her number.
Do you call your number?
No. We switched numbers a lot.
So it was on the Signal app?
Yeah, it was on the Signal app.
Okay.
No, we switched numbers a lot throughout this time, just because we were, if I had one too long, I would start getting texts on it saying, that I found your new number, I'm going to kill you. That I assumed that I assumed were from Wayne.
Okay.
They came back Sunday afternoon. Monday or Tuesday, I woke up to a message saying that, that she had talked to them and they felt like she was going to be there at least an extra couple of days, and that we should be prepared to depart. Depart the area as soon as she was released. I was asked to, this was Sunday. First, Sunday I was asked to get all our stuff in order, to pack everything up, which was no small task. We had a bunch of stuff.
Who asked you that?
She did. So she said hey, can you get things packed up just so we have it ready to go.
Okay.
So I went.
And what did that include?
I mean, it included, we had taken some personal effects with us when we initially left Alexandria that were, things that were important to us, but all our clothes, books, electronics, all toiletries. She had a lot of makeup.
So you had a U-Haul for it?
Yeah, no. So I figured that at this point I had a Ford Explorer that I had gotten while we were there. I got my my Georgia driver's license. I had purchased a new Ford Explorer, and with it had a third row seat that you could knock down and create like a decent amount of packing space. So I started, repacking all of our stuff that had been, unpacked for months.
So when did you get that Explorer?
July or August, late July, early August.
Yeah, I think now might be an appropriate time.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll go ahead and break for lunch.
All right, they're breaking for lunch. We, of course, are catching you up on all the testimony. It is a perfect time to bring in trial attorney C.K. Hoffler. Always great to have you on. Here in person is even better. You and I have been just talking back and forth as we're watching this unfold. So let's start with liar, liar. I don't think there's any doubt, based on the evidence presented so far and based on his own words in this police interview, that this defendant is a liar again and again and again.
I agree. I think he's actually a pathological liar. And I don't mean that from a medical standpoint or a forensic standpoint, because I don't have that expertise, but his lies are so completely troubling. And the lies that he's telling are germane to the crime that he's being accused of. So there's no way around those lies. Either, if he says that he did not tell the victim's parents that their daughter died of a stroke, then where's they already have established credibility. Why would the mother lie about that?
Right, and she was so believable on the stand. I mean, I absolutely think she was telling the truth.
Right, and he lies about things that make no sense to lie about.
Right.
I mean, he lies about big things, little things. He lies about his name. He lies about everything. So the jury is going to find him not to be credible. But he's just consistently lying. He's lying in the interviews with the police. He's lying at every stage. And the one thing that's coming out throughout the testimony is that he is a pathological liar.
Okay, so that led to more of a discussion between the two of us, because as I watch him, I feel like he is so narcissistic, not as a diagnosis, but just watching him, I feel like he believes that what he says is the truth. And so I see this type of defendant as one saying, oh no, I'm taking the stand because I'll convince the jury. I know exactly what happened and didn't happen. And there's this other man, and we were running from the other man, and he did it. And I think it means this may be one of those defendants that will testify, but then you had theories as to why you say no, absolutely not.
Well, his lawyers are going to tell him there are so many inconsistencies, because that's the terminology that the lawyers would use. The jurors would say lies, but the lawyers are going to say there are a lot of inconsistencies. And if you take the witness stand, the state is going to cross-examine you on every single last one of those lies. And a jury is going to look at him and say, if he lies about this, he'd lie about anything. And he's lying about everything. And so I think his credibility would be reduced, and the jury would be insulted and really want to convict him and really feel that he committed this heinous crime. And so I think his lawyers will tell him, under no circumstances should you take the stand. His narcissism, I agree with you, would lead him to want to take the stand. Of course, ultimately, we know it's a defendant's choice.
Right.
But it would really, really cause him, I think, to accelerate his conviction.
Because you are right. He cannot explain away some of those inconsistencies / lies. I can't think of any way he can explain those away.
I can't even. And even if you are narcissistic, even if you believe and you're drinking your own Kool-Aid, you have to be able to give a plausible explanation for inconsistencies.
Right.
And he can't possibly give. He'd have to sit for hours and hours on direct and give an explanation for every single inconsistency, because on cross, they're going to have a field day.
Have a field day. Now, you also mentioned the mugshot that we see of him versus in court, two different people. We're going to talk about that a little bit more, but he sure did clean up for trial. We are going to take a break here. When we come back, of course, we're going to get you back inside that courtroom for more. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Ashley Wilcott. Thank you so much for joining us. Now let's turn back to the dismembered wife murder trial in South Georgia, where it is day 4 of testimony. Hunters found the remains of Mindi Kassotis in multiple locations in a very rural area about 1 hour south of Savannah, Georgia in December of 2022. Her husband, Nicholas, is a former Navy lawyer and is now charged with her murder. But his defense team is pointing the finger at a mystery man who they say controlled the movements of the couple. Let's take you back inside the courtroom. We are listening to more of Nicholas Kassotis' police interview filled with details about that mystery man, Jim, who is allegedly the real killer.
That's exactly where we left.
All right, thank you.
Where did you get it from?
JC Lewis, maybe?
And I guess the big question, how did you pay for it?
So at this point, I had received a sum of money that Jim had told me that he was helping procure.
And how did you receive that money from Jim? Was it cash?
No, it was wired. It was wired to my bank account.
Okay. So you just wired the money to J.C. Lewis?
I actually took an Uber out there and got a cashier's check, and then brought it to them.
Okay. All right. So you got that. She wanted you to pack up everything.
Yeah, and then either Monday or Tuesday, I'm a little unclear which. I woke up to a message saying, actually, take 2 Tupperwares. So we had most of our stuff. We had a couple of large duffel bags, and then we had a lot of the, is Tupperware the right word? I feel like that's for food.
Plastic?
Yeah, like plastic, like a ready-made, like those things. I woke up to that. So I woke up to saying, like pack 2 of those in one. Put some clothes of mine, extra toiletries for me, things that I would need for like a week or 2, basically. And in hers, she wanted something similar. She wanted some clothes, some dresses, some sweaters, toiletries, books.
And this was her signaling you this?
Yes.
Okay.
Like her Kindle, like some books, she had those like adult coloring books. Her medicine, and last week I picked up a new prescription for Synthroid, so she asked that I put that in there, and said that I was going to meet somebody, I was going to get a call from somebody, and he would tell me where to drop those off, and that, that they would be with her so that she could use them, and then we would have them.
Okay.
So I did that.
Let's say you did that, you just got the containers ready? Or?
I got the containers ready. A man calls me, said, "Hey, can you come drop these off?"
And you didn't know who that was?
I didn't know who he was. I assumed he worked with the clinic. He said he understood that we were worried. Would I turn off my phones and use a GPS, like an old school GPS unit that we had?
Okay.
I said yes. He gave me the coordinates. It was kind of in the middle of nowhere, but
Do you remember where it was at?
I don't. It was a little outside Savannah, but I don't know much about it. I dropped off the containers with him.
Do you remember if it was on a paved road or a dirt road?
I think it was. I think there was dirt. I don't know if that was just the driveway though. I don't know. It was.
And describe him to me.
a little shorter than me, probably 6 feet tall. Youngish, like his probably early 30s, curly red hair.
Okay.
Fairly close cropped. I dropped it off. I asked if he needed anything else from me. He said no.
You said curly red hair, white male?
Yes, sorry, white male.
What vehicle was he driving?
I don't know. So I went to a house that I thought was his.
A house on a dirt road, and you just had coordinates.
Yes.
You didn't have an address?
I did not have an address. He said it was a little hard to find with an address on GPS.
Okay. So you dropped those off?
I dropped those off. I spoke to... I drove back. I spoke to Jim. I said...
Roughly how long did you think you had to travel to get there?
I'm not really sure. No, I mean,
you took some paved roads naturally from where you went.
30, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know, 30 minutes, 45 minutes? I'm not really sure where he was.
30 to 45 minutes. Was it daytime or night?
It was daytime. Okay. It was early in the day. I came back.
When you say early in the day?
Yeah.
What was early? Like, is early in the day?
No, not that early.
So it had been
probably 9, 10 in the morning, something like that.
Okay.
I got back and I spoke to Jim. And I said, I felt that again, I was in a bad situation, saying that, not saying that Mindi was elsewhere.
But you didn't ask when you dropped the containers off to see her.
No, but my understanding was that it was just some guy's house, like, that was not where she was.
We have to squeeze in a break here, but before we do, let's quickly turn to Montana, where defendant Jordan Palmer was found not guilty of fatally shooting his neighbor late last night. Palmer, who declined to testify during his trial, had told police that he shot Stephen Campbell in self-defense after Campbell began threatening him while he was returning a piece of mail. As Palmer exited the courthouse after the acquittal, a free man, he had this to say about what was next.
What's next, Mr. Palmer?
Get some pizza.
Get some pizza? Good luck, man. Take it easy.
Now for my thoughts from the bench on this. So you can pick up mail on the street, take it to the correct neighbor's home, then you can say the neighbor confronted me and accused me of breaking into vehicles and threatened me and also, quote, started trying to hit me, and it's okay for me to then shoot him to death? That is the very message, in my opinion, sent by the jury when they found Palmer not guilty of one charge of deliberate homicide. The jury obviously believed Palmer's claim that he did shoot in self-defense. They believed him. In my opinion, this case should make states pause to consider whether or not lesser charges should be included in order to provide a jury with options. Why didn't Montana charge Palmer with mitigated deliberate homicide or manslaughter? In my opinion, the state gambled with an all-or-nothing case based on one charge, and the state lost. The jury did its job. Did the state? Those are my thoughts from the bench. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
A woman's remains found scattered throughout a 3-mile area.
Now, a former naval officer stands trial accused of killing his wife.
The Dismembered Wife murder trial. Live coverage today on Court TV.
Tonight on Closing Arguments, Donna Adelson's final pretrial hearing in the murder of Dan Markell. We're unpacking everything you may have missed as she prepares to face a jury.
Closing Arguments tonight at 8/7 Central, only on Court TV.
Now back to the dismembered wife murder trial in South Georgia. Defendant Nicholas Kassotis faces multiple charges, including malice murder and the death of his wife, Mindi. Hunters found her dismembered remains in 2 different locations, 1 hour south of Savannah, Georgia, back in 2022. We have been in this courtroom listening to Kassotis' police interview, talking a lot about the mystery man, Jim, who he says controlled their movements, and according to the defense, is the one who killed Mindi. Let's go back in.
And that this guy was supposed to deliver the bins to
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
What did the bins look like? You said like a ring, maybe what? You know what color they were?
I think one was gray and one was black, but I'm not really sure.
Okay.
We went through, we were moving around for a couple of years. We went through a lot of bins.
So that's kind of, used those bins usually and moved around.
Yeah.
That's how you move.
Yeah. We had some clear ones at one point that just seemed to shatter.
And when you say that you'll have these bins or tubs or Tupperware, whatever, how many are we talking? Are you like 15, 20?
No, not that many.
How many do y'all normally have? Because y'all have to move quickly.
Yeah, 8 to 10 of them, and then like 3 or 4 bags.
When you were in Hilton Head, you had how many?
We didn't have anywhere to put anything except for there, so they were kept in Frank's garage.
Okay.
It's one of those houses that's got the ground level is just a garage, and it's got the living levels that they're running the floors. Yeah, it's running the floors.
All right. So 8 to 10 would be a common.
Yeah, I think
Just the throw them in the okay.
Yeah.
But when we bring them, and did they have lids on them?
Yes, yeah. All of our beds had lids. They had lids. Sorry.
Okay. So you carry stuff out of there. You drop it off to him.
Drops off to him.
You don't remember how you traveled there. Like did you take the interstate? Some days, some days.
Yeah, no. I didn't go out much while I was in Savannah. Just to get.
But he was on a long dirt driveway.
I believe so. Yes.
Describe the house to me.
It was brown with yellow trim.
Okay.
Not a huge house or anything, but
Just a normal house.
Yeah. Kind of like I don't know the house terms that you call that, like a rambler or something.
Okay. So new vehicles.
Not that I recall.
Okay. All right. And were your lawns in, or?
Yeah. He came outside. I unloaded them right off the ground. He said he would take them in. I asked if he needed help. He said no.
Was Rusty with you?
No, he was not. Yeah, Rusty was back at the house.
Okay. All right. And then what happened?
I drove back. I had that morning. I had talked to Jim before I left, saying that I was uncomfortable with Mindy's parents not knowing that she was at the hospital, and he said, before I left, to say that I was going to, or before they left, they were leaving for work, to say that I was going to bring her to the doctor, and then to say that she was there. He said that he understood it was longer than expected, but even when she's on bed rest, we could all, it's not a huge house, we could all hear her on the phone. I felt like I was.
But it wasn't, and when you say hospital, it wasn't traditional.
It wasn't a traditional hospital, yeah.
So you told them that she was at the hospital?
No, so that morning I told them that I was going to bring her for his instructions. And then this is either Monday or Tuesday after Thanksgiving. And then I came back. I talked to Jim again. He said to say that she's going to be there for a handful of days. That we were on the last steps of finding a place for them. We were all I was probably going to be picking her up and departing almost immediately. And then we were going to get them, into a place.
Okay. So basically, you told them that y'all were separating, but y'all would take care of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember what day Betsy and Frank came back?
They came back Sunday.
They came back Sunday?
Yeah.
And other than this trip you took to drop off the containers, did you go anywhere else that you recall?
Not that I recall. I might have run out to the store or something, but I don't really remember. I got a message asking to pick up a couple things, but I forget.
Still with us, C.K. Hoffler. C.K., you and I have talked about a couple of other things. Let's start with similarities to Idaho. I know you say Idaho, especially to honor those victims, but for viewers, it is regarding Brian Koberger as we continue to sort through, try to figure out why that tragedy happened. What similarities do you see?
Well, you've got two well-educated defendants who I believe are both narcissistic and who feel that they're smarter than everyone else. They're smarter, that understood the criminal justice system, that understood how to conceal evidence, that understood the rules of evidence, and that went through so much energy to conceal and to lie about what they did, when they did it, how they did it, and where they were, and just moved around the country. In the case of the Idaho situation, moved cross-country in a very, very twisted, convoluted way to try to outdo and outsmart everyone. And I think there's similarities here. Again, highly educated, very sophisticated criminal mastermind. That's where I see the similarities. And of course, the nature of the criminal activity. Heinous crimes in both cases.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. Heinous crimes in both cases. And I feel like these are situations in which the defendant believes one convicted killer, the other innocent until proven guilty in this trial. But I feel like, CJ, they both believed that it was the perfect crime that they could get away with. If this defendant, Kassotis, is convicted, I believe he thought he could get away with it.
I agree. I agree. Just as he's thinking he can get away with the multiplicity of lies.
Yeah, that's a good point, those lies. Those lies. So I have to ask you one more thing before we have a break, and that is the opening statement by the prosecution. Do you think they effectively told a story for the jury to grasp onto?
No, I don't think they told the story. And I don't know why they didn't tell the story, because you have to tell the story to the jury, and then you lay the evidence. And when you lay the evidence through the witnesses, they have to feed into the story. And unfortunately, I don't think that the prosecution did that effectively. In fact, they didn't really tell a story. They focused on the gruesome nature of the dismemberment, which is gruesome, but I think the jury needs to understand the story.
There's so much more, and now those witnesses are telling us the story, and to your point, lie after lie after lie, which is so important, I think, for the prosecution's case. C.K. Hoffler, love having you on, especially here in studio in person. Thank you for your great expertise.